Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Aisha Lachey Reads, and in today's video we are going to be doing my October wrap-up. Okay, so in October I read 12 books. So I just wanted to go over those with you and kind of make my ratings. So yeah, let's go over everything that I read. I did have one DNF, and that was Camp Damascus. I just wasn't feeling it, and like the church and like the religious vibes of it, it just wasn't for me at that moment. So I did have one DNF, but the first full book that I did finish was The September House by Carissa Orlando. And this is basically a haunted house story, and this woman and her husband buy a house, and it's like their dream house, but it is haunted, and things start happening in December, and basically their daughter has basically been away for so long, and she was like wanting to talk to her dad, but like something is going on because like her dad's not there. Her mom won't let her talk to her dad, so this kind of navigates that. So the daughter comes there and doesn't know the house is haunted, so it's her and her mother going through like all of this stuff. I really love this. It was just a fun, fast-paced read. I think I finished it in like 2 days, and I would have finished it sooner if I had a little bit more time, but I really enjoyed this. I did give it a 4-star. It was just like a fun, fast-paced like horror thriller novel. And if you like haunted house stories and like family relationships, this is definitely a good one to check out. And then the next two I picked up, I'm just going to go over them together because they are both Junji Ito novels. The first one is going to be Mimi's Tales of Terror, and then Soichi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we'll just go with that. So each of these I did give a 5-star to because I love Junji Ito's horror. I don't want to go into too much detail just because they are manga and they're horror. They're just basically short stories about these characters and in like the horror world. Junji Ito does great art and stories, and I just really love that. And he actually did, this one is based off a novel, but he just did the illustrations and made a manga out of it. But yeah, I gave both of these 5-star this month, and I really enjoyed them. If you love horror and manga, definitely check out Junji Ito. And then I read 4 other mangas. I don't know where I put the 4th one of these, but I did read Chainsaw Man volumes 1 through 4. And so this is basically, in this world there are demons, and we have like demon hunters and stuff like that. And our main character ends up having to make a pact with a demon, and it's the Chainsaw Demon, so he ends up becoming Chainsaw Man, and then is asked to help hunt down more demons. So yeah, I started this series. It's been pretty decent. I gave each of these I think about 3 stars. It's not my favorite manga that I've read, but it was definitely interesting. I don't know if I'm going to continue buying them, but if my library has them, I definitely want to continue the series. But yeah, the concept's really cool, just like demon hunting, and like each of these like demons can like make pacts with humans, and then they can have these like certain special powers, which was really cool. But yeah, I read volumes 1 through 4, gave them each about 3 stars. It's definitely just like a fun, fast-paced series, so if it sounds interesting, definitely maybe give it a shot. But yeah, I'll let you guys know in the future if I do decide to continue on with this series. And then I picked up a new release by Kerri Maniscalco, and that is Throne of the Fallen. This is set in the world of, what is it called? The Kingdom of the Wicked. That's it. So this is set in that world, and this is following Prince Envy, and I believe her name is Camilla. Yeah, and basically he is playing a game with the Unseelie Fae, and he has to win in order to help save his kingdom. And so he meets Camilla, and she's an artist, and he needs her help in winning the game. And so this is their story. It's about this game and their romance and just all of that fun stuff. I loved being back in this world. I love Kerri Maniscalco's writing. And I really hope she continues on with like this world and does more on the other brothers, because I do enjoy all the other brothers. I did really like the romance. It wasn't my all-time like favorite book of all time and like my favorite romance, but I really, really enjoyed it, and it's definitely something I can see myself reading again. So I did give it a 4-star. And with this book, you don't have to read Kingdom of the Wicked to read this, but if you're wanting to read Kingdom of the Wicked, I would suggest reading that first, just because it does have characters from those novels in here. But yeah, I had a really fun time reading this and being back in that world. And if you're looking for just like a fun fantasy romance, this is definitely something you should check out. And then I picked up 2 Twisted Crowns, and this is the finale to the, I don't know if it has a name. Does it have a name? Oh, the Shepherd King series. So this is the final book. There are 2, and it's a dark romance, and in this world there are these cards that basically give you these different powers. So the Maiden card, it makes you beautiful and stuff like that, and our main character ends up having like a demon inside of her head, and there is a fog that basically surrounds their kingdom, and it's dangerous. And so you get our characters trying to deal with that. And there is also a disease that basically kills people or gives them magic and stuff like that. And if you have this disease, you are supposed to be executed. So our main character has that, and she and her family have been hiding it forever. But she ends up meeting the king's nephew, and then they embark on a journey to get all of these cards together, because if you reignite the deck, then you can cure the fog and this sickness. So this is their journey of them together, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a good conclusion to the story, but I just really loved this duology, the fantasy romance. So if you're looking for like just a dark, fun fantasy romance, definitely pick this one up. And then I picked up Secrets Never Die by Vincent Ralph. I did read this, I think it was for a 24-hour reading blog or my horror reading blog. I don't remember which one it was. But basically, these friends, they have this abandoned place that they go to in the woods, and they tell all their secrets to, and then basically someone ends up dead and someone knows all their secrets, and so they're worried about that getting out. And so it's about all of these friends having to deal with that and coming together for all of that. I don't remember a whole lot because I remember reading this really fast, and it was just like an okay book for me. I believe I did give it 3 stars. Let me look just to make sure. Yeah, I did give this one 3 stars. It was just like a fun, fast-paced YA thriller, but it was nothing like special, and I probably would never pick it up again or really think about it. And that's like my problem now. I'm like, I don't remember a whole lot about it. So yeah, it was just a fun thriller, but nothing crazy or exciting. I did forget to mention one that I read that I got at the library, and that is Hemlock Island. I will put it up here on the screen. But Hemlock Island is basically about a woman who got a divorce, and her husband had bought her an island. And so in order to be able to afford this island, she rents out her house on the island and does it like an Airbnb. So all of these strange things are happening. There's like summoning circles, blood, all this crazy stuff begins to happen there. And so she goes back to figure it out. And at the docks, before she heads over to her island, she ends up meeting her ex, his sister, and she has her niece with her. And so it's a story about them going over there, trying to figure out what's going on this island. Is there demons? Is it otherworldly? Is there someone trying to scare people off because there's people that are wanting to buy the island? And so it was a super fun, fast-paced, like horror thriller, and I really loved it. It was perfect for this time of year. And you just got like all these like cool things, and I wasn't expecting the ending, but yeah, I ended up giving that one a 4-star. I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of the thrillers that I would be recommending again if people have any thriller if anyone wants any thriller recommendations. Okay, and then the next book I did read was the most recent that I did in my Halloween 24-hour reading vlog. So I have Fresh Hell, Autumn Crow High, and this is about a girl who is having dreams about a boy and dying and the strange stuff that happens. And Autumn Crow has always had weird, strange things happen. People die all the time. There's all of these like rumors and stuff, and so it's just like a weird, creepy town. And so she starts her senior year, and the boy from her dreams is at their school and starting there new. So you follow her and her friend navigating that, and there ends up being death and a mystery. So she is trying to figure out if this boy from her dream is up to no good and if he's murdering people or what exactly is going on in her town. And I gave this one a 5-star. I loved this. It was just like a fun, fast-paced horror, and it was so good. It is set in the 90s, and the 90s nostalgia from this book was just so perfect. All of like the things that they were talking about in this book, like the clothing, the music, everything, it was just perfect. I enjoyed every second of this book, and I'm really happy that I did pick it up this month. But yeah, I gave this a 5-star. This is going to be a series, so I'm excited to continue on with that as well. And then the next book I read was Maeve Fly by C.J. Leede, and this is a horror about a woman who works at an amusement park in California. It doesn't say directly what it is, but she works as a princess, and she's also a serial killer. So you get to follow her throughout like that journey and all of that stuff, and her meeting someone and just all the crazy stuff that is happening. And you just get to see like the inner workings of like her mind and like the Hollywood side and just all this crazy stuff. And I felt so many emotions when I was going through this. Like, she's a serial killer, so like you're not supposed to like sympathize with her, but like the end, I was like so sad for like her and like things that happen and stuff like that, that I was just like, oh my gosh, but I shouldn't, because she's a serial killer. But I still like felt such an attachment to her character, and it was just so fun and really good. Like, I just loved the horror aspects in this. It was really fun. But yeah, I was so surprised by the ending. I did not see that coming, and I was just like, wait, what just happened? I had to like put it down and be like, I don't know what's going on. But I loved this. I ended up reading this one on Halloween, and I'm so happy that I did, because it was like the perfect read for Halloween. And I did end up giving this one a 4-star. But I definitely suggest it if you like horror. It was just so good seeing a woman as a serial killer and getting like her point of view, because you normally hear about like men serial killers. So getting a woman as a killer was just so interesting and fun. And then the last book I did finish over October. I think I finished it like the first day of this month, but we're going to count it anyway because I also need to get it back to the library. But it is Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele, and it's an anthology of a new it says an anthology of a new black horror. And so I believe a bunch of black horror authors came together to create this. There is a bunch of different short stories in here, and I really enjoyed it. Some of them I was kind of indifferent about. Some of them I really loved. Some of them were just okay. But yeah, it was just a really fun read. I think I tend to like short stories and horror better because you don't get all of the extra stuff, like boring stuff that you don't need to know. Like, there's some horror that they literally talk about the clothes and what food is on the table, and I can't do that. So with this being short stories, I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. And Jordan Peele makes some great horror movies, so it was awesome to see him get a bunch of Black authors together to create this book, and it's definitely something I would recommend if you like horror and short stories. Definitely perfect for next fall. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. I did give this one a 3-star, I believe, just because it's hard to rate something like this just because all the stories I felt differently about. But it was just like a general 3-star. I enjoyed my time reading this. I liked most of the stories in it. But yeah, I just went with the 3-star just to kind of be in like the middle of the road, just because there were some I loved and some I didn't. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything for what I read in October. I had a little bit of like a slower reading month just because I do like a lot of stuff in October. Like, I watch horror movies, one horror movie every day in the month of October just for Halloween purposes because I love it so much and I love horror movies. But yeah, that's all that I read in October. Yeah, and I had a great reading month. I hope November is the same, but I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading.